There comes a time in life when your soul gets so tired of explaining, so tired of pretending, so tired of repeating the same lessons to people who never cared to learn them, that the only thing left to do is to go completely silent. No more calls that drain your energy. No more conversations that lead nowhere. No more fake smiles and forced small talk with people who clap when you're up and vanish when you're down. There's a power in silence that noise can never give you. There's a freedom in cutting all contacts that chains disguised as friendship will never allow you to feel. The world wants you busy, distracted, surrounded by people who secretly hope you stay the same. But you weren't born to live stuck in the same place with the same stories playing on repeat. You were born to grow so big that your old circle can't even recognize the new rooms you sit in. To do that, you have to cut the ties that choke your growth. The phone calls at 2 a.m. that dump their problems on your mind while you can't even sleep in peace. The casual meetups that leave you feeling empty because you never belonged in those seats anyway. The family members who speak of loyalty but never show up when your back is against the wall. The so-called friends who can't clap for you in private but love to broadcast your flaws in public. Cut it all, quietly, without announcement, without drama, without asking for permission. People will say you're cold. They'll say you're selfish. They'll say you switched up. Let them. You didn't switch up. You woke up. You didn't turn cold. You turned focused. You didn't betray anyone. You stopped betraying yourself. Because every second you give to people who drain your spirit is a second you steal from your own dreams. And if you don't protect your dream, who will be silent? Watch how your life transforms when you stop explaining your moves to people who never had the courage to make a move for themselves. Watch how your mind heals when you stop giving pieces of your soul to conversations that should have ended years ago. Watch how your circle shrinks to nothing but peace and purpose when you cut off the hands that only reach out when they want to take something you can't afford to give anymore. Silence isn't emptiness, it's a fortress. When you become silent, you force your mind to listen to the voices you've been drowning with noise. You hear your true thoughts for the first time in years. You see your real reflection without all the fingerprints of people who tried to shape you into someone smaller than you really are. You realize that not everyone deserves access to your energy, and the moment you realize that is the moment you become unstoppable. People will wonder where you went. They'll notice your silence. They'll feel your absence more loudly than they ever felt your presence. They'll start to talk. They'll poke around in old conversations, dig through memories, ask each other questions they were never brave enough to ask you directly. Let them. Let the whispers grow while your mind grows stronger in the shadows you chose. Let the stories spin while you spin your new reality behind closed doors. You see, some people can never handle the truth that they were never meant to go where you're going. Some friendships were built on convenience, not loyalty. Some circles were built on gossip, not growth. Some people stood next to you not because they believed in your vision, but because your light made their darkness feel safer. The moment you dim your light for no one, the moment you stop explaining your glow, those same people will say you changed. And they're right, you did. You evolved. You learned that not everyone deserves front row seats to the show you're about to perform with your life. Silence makes you dangerous. When you stop talking, nobody knows what's on your mind. When you stop explaining, nobody can twist your words. When you stop sharing every idea, every plan, every thought, your enemies starve. They feed off your noise, they feed off your openness. They feed off your willingness to let them in. But the day you decide to lock that door, to cut all contacts that serve no purpose, but to slow you down, that's the day you become untouchable. Cutting contacts doesn't mean you hate them. It doesn't mean you wish them harm. It just means you wish yourself better. It means you respect your own boundaries more than you respect their comfort. It means you'd rather sit alone in pure silence than sit with fake support and forced conversations. It means you're finally brave enough to be misunderstood because you understand yourself now. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and your phone is empty. No fake notifications, no pointless group chats, no fake check-ins from people who only ask, "How are you?" When they feel your glow getting bigger than their shadows can handle. Just you, your mind, your dreams, and your grind. Imagine how powerful you'd be if every call was replaced by an hour spent building, if every fake laugh was replaced by an hour spent learning, if every forced conversation was replaced by an hour spent creating the life they said you'd never have. They'll call you selfish, be selfish, because being selfish with your time is how you feed your purpose. They'll call you cold, be cold, because cold people don't get burned by fake warmth. They'll say you think you're better, you are. Not better than them, but better than who you used to be when you allowed yourself to be drained by connections that gave you nothing but noise. So here's what you do. You cut every contact that steals your time. You stop replying to people who never showed up when it mattered. You stop forcing smiles for people who never cared if you cried behind closed doors. You walk away from rooms that shrink your confidence just to make insecure people feel big. You stop watering dead plants. You stop fighting to fix what should have died long ago. You leave quietly, completely, without anger, without revenge, without dramatic goodbyes. When you finally cut all contacts that hold you back, you start hearing the sound that really matters, the sound of your own mind healing. You start to see how much time you were wasting on calls that gave you nothing but anxiety. You realize how many dreams you buried just because you were too busy being there for people who would never lift a finger if your world was burning down. The truth is, silence hurts at first. In the beginning, the quiet feels loud. The empty phone feels like a curse. The lack of notifications feels like nobody cares. But slowly, you understand that emptiness is freedom in disguise. The silence is your teacher. It forces you to sit with thoughts you kept burying under noise. It forces you to ask yourself, who am I when nobody is watching? Who am I when nobody is texting, calling, distracting me? And you find that beneath the noise is someone stronger than they ever told you you could be. You find a mind that can focus like a laser beam when it's not being pulled in 50 fake directions. You find energy that flows back to you when you're not leaking it through people who only loved the version of you that served their comfort. You find peace in being your own best company. You learn to enjoy your own silence like it's the safest place in the world, because it is. People don't get it. They think cutting all contacts means you hate the world. They think you're bitter, broken, angry. Let them. You don't cut all contacts because you hate the world. You cut all contacts because you love your future more than your past. You love your peace more than their noise. You love your purpose more than their opinions. they'll try to pull you back. Out of guilt, out of curiosity, out of the need to drain you just one more time. Stay strong. Protect your gate. Not everyone deserves access. Not everyone deserves your energy. Some people should stay exactly where you left them in your memory, not your future. Be so silent, they can't find a way in. Be so silent, their gossip starves to death, because you gave them nothing new to feed on. Be so silent your moves hit like thunder when they thought you were done, because one day you'll walk into rooms they never imagined you'd reach. You'll shake hands with people they only watch from a distance. You'll live a life that doesn't need to be announced because it screams for itself. And they'll realize too late that your silence was not weakness, it was your rebirth. Every night you spend alone is an investment in a version of you they can't touch. Every morning you wake up without noise is a chance to build what they said was impossible. Every contact you cut is dead weight you no longer have to drag to your destiny. And when they see you again, if they ever do, they'll meet a you they don't even recognize. No more long explanations. No more forced friendships. No more fake loyalty. No more noise. Just you, your vision, your grind, your unshakable silence. Let your results speak the words your mouth doesn't have to. Let your actions echo louder than their cheap words ever did. Let your new life be your only reply. So if you're tired, if you're heavy, if you're done giving pieces of yourself to people who never deserved them, make the choice tonight. Go silent, cut the cords, walk away. Reclaim every second of your time like it's gold. Build in the shadows. Train in the darkness. Rise so quietly that your comeback feels like an earthquake to everyone who thought your silence meant your story was over. Always be silent, cut all contacts, protect your peace like it's sacred. Guard your dreams like they're priceless. Walk alone if you must, because walking alone in truth is better than walking with crowds who lie to keep you small. You don't owe them a text. You don't owe them a call. You don't owe them an update. You owe yourself the version of you that only shows up when the noise dies. The world will learn who you've become, not when you tell them, but when they see you shining so bright that their old stories burn to ashes in your light. And when that day comes, you won't have to say a single word. Your silence will say everything. Your peace will say everything. Your success will say everything. Always be silent. Cut all contacts. Move like a ghost. Build like a king. Return like a storm.